Hi there, welcome to I Can Make That. This is Jen, and today I'm going to show you how to make a wooden sign from beginning to end, beginning with the Cricut design space and ending with a lot of tools. So first thing, I'm going to create the sign in Cricut design space. Now, I did a little research, and Perth, Australia is as far away from Orlando, where I live, as you can get. So I wanted that to be one of my signs. And I'm going to use a font called Casual Hardcore, which I downloaded probably from DeFont. So that's how you begin. You're going to make your sign, pick a font. Generally, I will split ungroup to letters if I feel like it's not where I want it, and I'll move things over, put them a little closer together, regroup it. And don't forget, the important thing is to attach your image. If you don't attach it, when you go to cut it, it's gonna move the letters all around in different directions. So if you want it to be exactly how you want it to cut, and in this case, I'm using this to make a stencil. So I'm going to finish creating this. I'm adding some other locations, and I'm going to cut it out on my Cricut and then show you what to do next. So this is cutting out the signs that I've already put together and sent to the Cricut. They're on 24-inch mats, and I taped together the 8.5 by 11 paper. Now the trick is going to be all these center pieces, because I'm making stencils out of these, but you have the center pieces, of course. What am I going to do about this? So I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to figure out how I was going to do the inset parts of my letters. So here is the P that I took out, and I decided, because I'm going to be sanding this anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and put a dot of glue here. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick barely any, I don't need much, and I'm going to stick the center piece in there. And I'm using my other letter as the stencil. I'm using that as the placeholder, so that when I go to take that out, this is placed in the right spot. So there we go. And I also taped this down. This is just a pine, actually it's a rail from my son's bed that we didn't keep. And I keep everything, so I still have that. So that's what I'm gonna do for placing all of these pieces. I'm just gonna go in, put a little bit of glue, and that way I'll have my centers ready. All right, and now that everything is glued down how I want it, I'm going to ink in everything. Of course, you could trace it with pencil too, but I just think that this will work well when I take my Dremel tool and I go in, and I want to see where I have to cut everything. All right, all done. So I'm going to take this off now. And I can save my stencil for another time. Peel off what I glued down. I don't care if there's a little bit of paper, because I will be sanding this after I finish. So it doesn't matter at all if a little bit is left over. Alright, so I have done my first pass, and this is how it looks. It needs to be sanded and a bunch of stuff. I used this Dremel, it's a plunge router tool, so that's what I use to go along and do all the work. I have it on a workbench and have them clamped together. And I'm going to be doing the Chicago one next, but I wanted to show you the progress so far. So I've tried some different bits for this project. First I used a very fine point bit, and I did the outline of all the letters with it. And then I went back with this bit here, and I basically cut out everything in between. But I'm going to try this bit now and see if I can do it in one stroke and just get the whole letter cut without having to go back twice. Okay, so I just finished routing this one out with the Dremel using the pointed bit, and I actually like the way this looks better. I think it's a little more fun compared to the other carving. Of course, it's not cleaned up yet either, but I like that. And I had to go slow. I had to go over it twice or 3 times just to get the depth, because otherwise it was too much for that bit to try to go through, but it turned out really well. I'm gonna have to switch bits for this part here because it's smaller, and this other bit is gonna just be too wide for that. And this is where that stencil comes in really handy again. I just went ahead, I had taped all the center pieces so I'd have them if I want to do this same stencil again, but I'm not going to waste my time gluing all those down. I'll just sand off the paint on the parts that are in the center. But this is just going to save me some time on cleanup by simply putting this over. Some people use painter's tape to go around everything. This is a lot faster. Alright, so I'm going to go on in and spray paint. Here. Let that dry. Option is to simply paint with a paintbrush. I'm still going to use my stencil just because it helps keep everything in a little easier and I can go a little bit faster. But that is a second option, and I don't think it'll take me a lot longer than spray painting. Alright, we have painted all of the inside of everything at this moment. It's just drying. I did go with spray paint on 3 out of the 4. Here we are after I sanded it with 100 grit sandpaper again, and turned out really nice. Alright, my little project signs are coming along really great. I just need to cut them all, stain them, UV coat them, and attach them to the pole that I'm planning to put them on, or I might make them hang. I'm still making up my mind on that too. So now that I have everything painted and sanded, I'm going through and I'm painting over all the letters with a foam brush. It seems to be working pretty well, or a foam roller I should say. And it's not getting into what I've already done. It's doing a pretty good job of just painting over what I need. And I'm doing them in different colors. And now I'm spraying everything with a UV resistant clear acrylic coating, and this stuff is great. I live in Florida. Everything down here just fades immediately, and so if you spray down your stuff really well with a coating, it seems to work pretty well. Everything I've used it on so far has lasted a lot longer than anything that doesn't have the coating on it. So I'm in the final stages now of putting this together. I added eye hooks into the top and bottom, and then I'm just using some jewelry that I picked up, just some chain. I'm just taking the links off and using one link between each one so that it will connect. And it's complete! So that is how you make a wooden sign using the Cricut, and a lot of time and work and other tools. Thanks for watching.